Hi, I am Troy with Alternate Rain, and today this video is going to show you how to program the most common irrigation clocks that we install in all our residential homes. The video today will go through the ESP-TM2, but we also install the Rainbird ESP-4ME sprinkler clock. Both clocks are very similar to program, and so the video should work for both. First, looking at your sprinkler clock, there is a packet next to every clock that we install that will show startup and winterization information, and we'll have the manual for the sprinkler clock inside that packet. So all the sprinkler clocks that we install will have a sticker on the outside showing our company's name, our website, and our phone number. Each sticker will have a number of zones, either 1 through 8 or 1 through 14, with a description on each zone. This current clock that we're going through only has 4 zones. The first 2 zones are spray zones and the next 2 are rotor zones. When you open the door to the clock, this is what the screen is going to show. The current dial is turned to off, and the screen shows off and the time of day. The first thing that we'll go through is when you turn the dial to auto, it will show that it's on program A. The day is Tuesday, and the current time of day is 10:02 a.m. When the dial's on auto, that means that the sprinkler will run through whatever program is set up. So it's on program A, and that means that it will run through the start times on program A and run each zone for the amount of run for each zone. When you turn the dial to date time, the screen changes and shows the day, the month, and the year. The current clock is set for February 11th, 2020. To adjust these days, it shows the day is flashing, and so to change the day, if it needs to be changed, you can just simply press the plus button to change the day or the minus button to go back. Once you have the day set, if you click the arrow pointing to the right, it'll go to the month. You can adjust the month the same way by pressing the plus or minus button. If you click to the year, you can adjust it the same way. So we're going to leave it set to February 12th, 2020. If you click the arrow to the right again, it's going to go to the time of day, which shows 10:03 a.m. To adjust the time, you do the same thing as the date, press the plus button to change the time until the current time, which is 10 a.m. And then if you click the arrow to the right, it will go to the minutes. You can adjust the minutes. And if you press the right button again, it will go back to it will show a 12-hour clock, which is what we want, because then it will go through a normal cycle and then back to the date. The next dial is your start times. This is a very important dial feature on the clock. The start times show the time that the sprinkler system is going to come on, run through all of the zones, and then shut off. So when you have new sod, depending on the time of year, you're going to have 1 or 2 start times. If you turn to start times, it's going to show the first one and the time that the system is going to come on and run. If you click the arrow to the right, it'll skip to the second start time, which this clock is set the second start time for 4 p.m. If you click to the right again, it will go to the third start time, which this clock has 3 start times set up. If you click at the arrow again, it will go to the fourth, and then back to the first. So after a certain amount of time, if you have new sod, you're going to need to shut off either the second and third start time or just the second start time, depending on the year that your new sod may have been installed. And to shut those times off, you click to the start time that you want to shut off, and so we'll go to the third first, and you adjust the time until the time hits midnight, and the screen will show off. That means that the third start time has been shut off. And now if we go back, it will go to the second, and we will adjust that time to midnight, and it will shut off the second start time as well. And then you can flip through, it'll show the thirds off, show the fourths off, go back to the first, and that way you only have 1 start time, which the system will come on and run at 6 a.m. The next feature on the clock is the run times. The run times show the amount of time that each zone, which is shown on the front of your clock, this one has 4, how long that zone is going to come on and run, and then switch to the second zone, the third zone, fourth zone, and so on. So those times should be set by us during the install. We recommend that spray zones each run for 15 minutes, and your rotor zones each run for 30 minutes. That will give you an equivalent of about a 1/4 inch of moisture during that runtime, which is not too much, but enough to sustain the grass. If we go, when we're on the run times and we click the right arrow, it will go through and show the times for each zone. And there is no 5, and there is no 6, and then it goes back to 1. And so if you were to want to adjust those, you simply turn to the station you want to adjust, press the plus or minus button, and that will adjust the time. The next feature is watering days. The watering days is the day of the week that the sprinkler system will come on, run through all the zones on your system, then shut off. When you have new sod, it's set to run every single day of the week. And so if you look at the top screen, it shows every single day of the week, and it has a raindrop. That means that on that day, the sprinkler system is going to run. To adjust those days, you simply use the arrows to turn to the days, and we'll start on Monday, and it shows on. Now, if you want to leave Monday on, you can just click over to Tuesday, and now it shows Tuesday on. If you want to shut off Tuesday, simply press the minus button. It will shut it off, and then skip to Wednesday. So if we go back to Tuesday, it shows that Tuesday's off, and it has a little raindrop with a circle and a line through it. It means that it's not going to run. And so to turn Tuesday back on, if you wanted to, you would just press the plus button. It turns it back on, skips to Wednesday, and you can just go through each day of the week and either leave it on or shut it off if you want to press the minus. The only thing that I want to say during this part is when you go to Sunday, if you click the arrow to the right again, it's going to change the watering days to a cycle day, which is not what we want to do if you have new sod. This will make the sprinkler system run through a cycle where every 3 days or every however many days you have it set up, it will turn just the system on that cycle period. But we don't want to do that, so you'll make sure that if you get to Sunday, you want to go back so it shows every day of the week, and it will run through the system and set the watering days to the day a week, not a cycle. Next on the clock is the rain sensor. We do not install rain sensors on every sprinkler clock that we install or sprinkler system that we install. It is an option to add, but that is something that if you call the office, we can set up an appointment and have a service technician come out and install the rain sensor. Next on the dial is seasonal adjust. This is a cool feature on all of the clocks that we install that will automatically adjust all of the run times in your sprinkler system to a percentage rather than having to go in and change all the run times. All sprinkler clocks are set to 100%, but if you wanted to change the percentage to either more or less depending on the season, you can adjust that percentage to, let's say, 125%, turn to your run times, and it will adjust all your run times by 25% more. Now, if you go back to seasonal adjust, turn it back to 100%, it will then go back and change all of your run times to how it was set up when we installed the system. Next dial is your manually watering. Manual watering is a nice feature for if you need to run through and check the system. When you turn to manual watering, it shows all, which means all zones. You can add minutes to that. And so this way it would run all zones for just 2 minutes and then shut them off. And to start that, right here in the bottom right corner, it says hold the arrow pointing to the right to start. If you hold that arrow down, it will flash started on the screen. It will show zone number 1 is going to run for 2 minutes. Once zone number 1 runs for 2 minutes, it will go to 2, 3, 4, and so on until your system is done running. And that is all the features on the ESP-TM2. The only other thing that I wanted to go through is if you want to manually run the system through all the zone times that are set up when we install the system, the easiest way to do that is to turn the dial to auto, and it's in the bottom right hand corner it shows hold the arrow to the right to start. You simply leave the dial on auto, hold the arrow down to the right, it will flash started on the screen. It will run through all 4 zones in this clock, and then once those 4 zones are done, it will shut the system off and then run the program that is set up to run. The only other feature on the ESP-TM2 that I'd like to go through is this sprinkler clock is link ready, which means that it is capable of having a Wi-Fi accessory put in, and you are able to run the sprinkler clock through your smartphone. If you'd like that to be installed, please contact the office and we can set up a service technician to install that. Thank you for watching all of our videos. I hope that these videos are helpful, and for any more information, please visit our website at alternaterain.com or feel free to contact the office at 402-289-4019. Thank you.